You're listening to Only in Seattle.
Let's talk about something that has been kind of going around. It has to do with everybody's kind of on their own journey and they're doing their own thing. And there's media out there that you just have to be aware of. And that is the Netflix special, The Game Changers. And that has come up a lot because people are starting to embrace veganism just from all angles. And so you and I have talked about that, and you were like, the Game Changers. Tell me what you think about the Game Changers. And tell us first what it is.
Okay. I think they call it Game Changers is because vegans are here to change the game. Of
all
fitness
games
and nutrition.
Yeah.
The documentary, can't even call it a documentary. The film, because a documentary would entail that you'd see both sides of the evidence, and this film pretty much cherry picks what they want to show you. They don't show you the other side, like what meat eaters and they don't talk about like Usain Bolt, who ate like 100 chicken nuggets before
a day.
He
ate over 1,000 before he set all those world records in the Olympics.
They're only
you know how much 1,000 chicken nuggets is?
A lot of calories, but it's a lot of protein, and you're getting that from an animal source, which is going to have a full range of essential amino acids, whereas plant proteins are only partial amino acid profiles. So you're going to have to eat a lot of plants in order to get all your necessary amino acids. And for those who don't know, amino acids are the building blocks of protein and how to put your protein to work. And
you are essentially pescatarian, meaning you eat fish and some dairy products.
Yeah,
right?
I don't really eat dairy just because.
I thought you ate eggs.
I do eat eggs, but I don't know if I'd qualify eggs as dairy.
They come from a chicken.
I don't know, but dairy, I think,
dairy,
like
I guess
milk and yogurt.
Okay.
I do have kind of like an inflammatory response to dairy, so it's not really bad. I just kind of get kind of phlegmy, and I do know it's an inflammatory response. So I just want to keep inflammation as low as possible.
Yeah. So you eat mainly fish.
Mainly.
So
fish.
it's not like you're either on the pro meat or the pro vegetarian side.
I was a vegetarian when I was 8. My sister was 2 years before me, so we always had the vegetarian option available. 1 year after I became a vegetarian, my mom became a vegetarian, so then we just stopped making meat-based meals for dinner.
What about Dad?
My dad still eats meat, but he only eats meat
Dad.
when my mom's out of town.
Good for Dad.
Yeah, he's hanging in there. But so when I got to college, there wasn't a lot of protein sources. I mean, I was getting them from like protein bars. I was living in a sorority and in a dorm. Those are the first 2 places that I lived. So it wasn't like I had access to my own kitchen and I wasn't able to make my own food. But once then I started eating fish because I knew that I could get canned tuna, and that was going to be a safe food that I could eat in Indiana. There's not a whole lot of like great freshwater sources near Indiana. So
in the Midwest. Yeah.
It's going to be shipped from somewhere, and then it's like, how fresh is your fish? And then you can probably do something like frozen shrimp. That's a good place to start.
Yeah.
But I just didn't really know how to start eating fish, like what I deemed was safe and what wasn't. I just knew that my mom and my sister ate fish when I became a vegetarian. I felt so weirded out by fish, by like the bones and fat. I just felt like it was so real to me, and I would associate everything with Finding Nemo. I'd be like, I'm eating a fish. This fish would talk. And I don't want to eat anything with a face. But then I kind of matured once I got into college, and I was like, okay, for my health, I know that I need to get protein. I'm in the gym more. I know protein's a big deal. I want to get it from whole food sources. I don't want to just keep eating protein shakes because that does a whole number on your digestive system if that's all you're eating. So I started eating fish, and that was really efficacious for my bodybuilding career. So I ate tilapia, shrimp, tuna, salmon. Those were kind of my safe ones. I didn't venture too far out of there, and I still won't. Like, I won't do oysters or mussels. That's just too gross for me. Shellfish. No thanks. But like scallops I can do.
Okay.
So I'm just so limited in like what I want to do, but I'm not going to say no to everything for the rest of my life. But I do know that we are a family of very proud vegetarians, but my mom is pescatarian and my sister's now a vegan.
Okay. And have they seen The Game Changers?
I don't think
probably
so.
wouldn't care.
But I feel like they should, because
Yeah.
especially my sister, since she's a vegan, she should hear what they're saying. But then if she says anything positive about it, I'm just going to be like, okay, watch this documentary, watch this
Yeah.
video debunking everything, and just know that you're dumb to believe this stuff, because they were only taking the evidence that they wanted to show you in order to...
Give us some examples. We've got the Hussein Bolt. They don't talk about that. Run
So-
through a few other.
One of the first things that I noticed was they say the gladiators were vegan.
Yep.
And they
And it
found this-
benefited them wildly because obviously they're fierce guys in the
Yes.
arena.
So they said they had this like kind of plant mash, and that's what they had went like in between battles and whatnot. And they found in their bones that they had high level of calcium, which indicated that they ate a lot of plants. But that was only gladiators in one area. If you looked at other gladiator bones, they found that they had really high levels of sulfur, which came from seafood. So it really depends on your access to
Where they
food,
were.
and that's what they were thinking is
Yeah.
like, whatever's available to me, I'm going to eat it. You know, we didn't have Whole Foods back then where you can go and make all these decisions. It was really like, do we live next to a sea where there's
Right.
fresh fish?
And gladiators were prisoners of war. They did not get to choose their food at all.
Yeah.
So why were they eating barley and these other foods that were basically making them fat?
Because it was there. That was it. It's just kind of locality.
And it helps them when they get cut not to bleed out.
But plant proteins, like I said earlier, are low in essential amino acids, so you have
Yep.
to eat more of them, which is going to be a lot more carbohydrates, lower in protein. Whereas if you're going to eat meat, which is going to be lower in calories, higher in protein, and it's going to be a full essential amino acid profile, so you don't have to eat as much to get those building blocks of protein. But with plants, you have to eat a lot more. You're going to
Yeah.
have more calories.
More calories, yeah.
So that's where you're going to get more energy from. So maybe if they're burning a whole bunch of calories throughout the day, maybe they look better. I don't know, because they have more of an energy source coming in. And maybe other gladiators only had access to fish and weren't eating as many plants, but they had more protein. They're still going to have a lower energy balance for them, so
Right.
they just eat less. The other thing that I found was really disturbing is they were claiming that a peanut butter sandwich has the same amount of protein as a 3-ounce steak or 3 eggs.
Right.
So 3 eggs has 18 grams of protein and
Yeah.
approximately 210 calories.
Yeah.
They're in one egg, it's 70 calories, 5 grams of fat, and 6 grams of protein. So you're thinking like it's just a protein source. You're wrong. It's a predominantly also a fat source.
A lot of fat. Yeah.
But that's just for eggs, and that's 210 calories for 3. For a steak, it can range from 18 to 24 grams of protein for about 3 ounces, and that's 150 calories. So that's that's way less than the eggs.
Yep.
But it's all protein. Depending on what slice or cut of steak, then your fat range is going to differ. That's why I say it ranges from 18 to 24. For 2 servings of peanut butter, 1 serving of peanut butter is 180 to 200 calories, and that's 2 tablespoons, so the volume is way, way less, so you're not going to feel as full. 2 servings of peanut butter is going to be about 16 grams of protein, so less than the eggs and less than the steak, but, you know, comparable. And that's going to range for about 360 to 400 calories for way less volume of food and tons of fat. So there's
Is that with the bread or without?
That's without.
Yeah, so you put in the bread, the sandwich that they show on the movie. Let's
Yeah.
say it's wheat bread, 150 calories a slice.
Sure. And so there's 300 calories of
Yeah.
carbohydrates on top of your 400 grams of fat.
Yeah.
So there's 700 calories right there. So they're saying that peanut butter sandwich has the same amount of protein as steak or eggs, but you're not talking about how much peanut butter you're putting on that sandwich and the total calorie content of each of those products. So does it benefit you to eat a peanut butter sandwich over 3 eggs? Probably not, especially if you're looking at counting your calories. But maybe you have a really high calorie count, and that's one way to get dense nutrients in, for sure. But know that you're getting more fat in that meal and more carbohydrates than you are protein. Whereas
Right.
the other two are predominantly protein sources, except for the eggs. The eggs are also a fat source.
They've got the healthy fats.
the healthy fats
Yep.
and a
Yep.
full range of amino acids in that
Yep.
egg. Eggs are great.
Right. So who produced this movie?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
who has a line of products that include
Vegan products. So
and
it's
James Cameron.
What else are?
He's the Titanic. He did the Titanic, and he also has a vegan company.
Cash grab.
Yeah. So you got to kind of take who is putting the content out and why.
And who's benefiting from?
Who's benefiting from it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think a lot of what people are seeing is, oh, this is awesome to go vegan and I'm going to feel better. And I've eaten a lot of meat and I do feel better when I don't eat quite as much meat. So it's one of those things where you have to kind of read between the lines and figure out what works for you. It doesn't necessarily, going vegan doesn't necessarily work for everybody. And there are countless professional athletes right now who are switching back to a meat-based diet because they don't have enough collagen in their diet, and they're getting hurt. And so to
Collagen's
heal,
great for joint health and
Joint
skin
health.
elasticity.
they're getting hurt. They've gone on the vegan kick. Doesn't work for them. For some people, it works great. It works amazing. There was, I think, a strength athlete in there who had some world records, but he was also probably just juiced up on all kinds of steroids. And he had massive amounts of protein shakes.
Yeah. What I heard from that is he was mostly supplementing a ton. Like he was having his BCAAs, his EAAs, essential amino acids, on top of protein shakes. So I mean, he was hitting his macro goals. So it really doesn't matter where you're getting your proteins, fats, and carbohydrates from, as long as you're hitting those goals. But what's hard about being a vegan-only diet is you do get a lot of excess carbs and fats coming from, mostly carbs from your plants.
Because you have to eat more food in order to get the protein in there, and it's not as good protein, so you just got to kind of be really careful.
So they usually end up eating a lot less protein, which, if you're trying to build muscle, isn't the best thing
It doesn't
for
work.
you.
Where you've got, how about like, the swimmer, I'm blanking, 12,000 calories a day. Michael Phelps, eating everything in sight.
Because he has to.
Yeah, and he was not vegetarian.
So I don't know if he had to eat a vegan diet, he had to have to, like, the amount of volume he would have to eat.
He couldn't do it.
His stomach would be
couldn't do
so distended.
He wouldn't be able to train.
Talk about bloated.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of examples of athletes who have done well on the vegan diet and then athletes who haven't. And I think something interesting for people to do is just to Google the Game Changers Debunked.
Yes.
And there's so many examples out there of because when I first watched the Game Changers, I was like, wow, this makes a lot of sense.
Me too.
I might give this a try.
I was like, I shouldn't be eating as many
Yeah.
eggs.
Oh, I need to put the chicken down.
The thing that really stuck with me was when they interviewed the Miami Dolphins and had them eat 3 different kinds of burritos. They had a steak burrito, a chicken burrito, and a plant-based burrito. Bean burrito. And then they tested their blood and they put it in the centrifuge and showed the blood at the bottom and the clear liquid at the top. And they showed that once you ate a plant-based burrito, that it was really clear and it was really cloudy for the chicken and the beef. But what they're not showing you is, first of all, we don't know what kind of cut of chicken that is, so it could be more of a fatty chicken. But what causes that cloudiness is fat. So that's the only thing it is. It's just not coming from animals or not. It's just having fat in your blood and in your body. So they're totally distorting that just to demonize meat in general.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when our next video is out.